I got a DM on Instagram today that said, "I don't mean to bother you, but do you have any advice on someone trying to grow their collection of Soviet-era pins? Like young pioneers or other stuff like that, I find it really hard to find them." So let's talk a little bit about finding and sourcing pins and where to start. So my collection started with this pin, this little Lenin on a ribbon. It was one that I knew I wanted. It is one that I had personally seen as the most wearable, and I purposely went out to look for it and found a reasonable priced one on Etsy. I think it's important first to try and figure out why you want the pins and what you're going to do with them. I, of course, collect them because they're historical items, but I also wear them every day practically in a form of living history in a way that Soviet citizens would have worn pins on their lapels in the past. So for me, it's important to have pins that I know I will wear and have some sort of meaning that I either align with or find intriguing, and perhaps to be a conversation piece when out and about. Because of this, displaying them isn't part of my intention. I keep them in a little bowl of accessories that I reach to put on myself every morning. But if you don't know what you want to do with them yet, or you're looking to just have a collection to display and you just want to buy them in bulk, there are plenty of sellers on Etsy and eBay that do sell blind box or blind bags of bulk Soviet pins. And sometimes you'll come across, either online or at antique and thrift stores, hats or flags that will have pins on them. This used to have many pins. I came across this at an antique store, and while I wasn't interested in this hat or like this iron-on patch in particular, there were many pins attached to this hat that I personally wanted and had been looking for. And collectively, altogether, it cost a lot less to buy this bulk hat with pins on it than to buy each of those pins individually. So sometimes those are really good ideas to purchase. I also recommend doing your research about the pins and the kinds of things that you're looking for, or perhaps purchasing a book like this, a collector's book that has more information about the types of pins that are available and their price points. Antique stores that have militaria sections or military-themed booths will likely have Soviet pins, and sometimes it's just fun to come across them as you go antiquing. Your best bet is always going to be a place like eBay, and often you can negotiate the prices with the seller. So I hope that helps and gives you a little bit of insight, but I think first and foremost, you need to figure out what you're going to be doing with those pins and the kinds of things that you are looking for. Ultimately, everything can be found online, but if you're looking for an experience, antiquing and thrifting is always going to be the most fun option.